I'm constantly pondering the idea of, just how far can we go as a human species? How far could we go, essentially, is the question I ask myself often. Excuse me. Just how far could we go as a human, just how far could the human species go if we were living at our highest potential? Just how far could we go if we weren't constantly, from day one, eating nothing but junk food, 3 meals a day of cooked, solid, denatured, mineral depleted, enzyme depleted, denatured, processed foods? Just how far could we go if we lived in a society that didn't force educate us and force brainwash us with a lot of garbage, such as, sex there's sex everywhere now. There's so much garbage everywhere, and we're so disconnected with nature. It's not even, it amazes me to the point where the colleges, the schools, etc., they don't even teach you how to get grounded with nature. In fact, they sever your ties with nature. I may lose some subscribers for saying this. I don't care. If me saying that college is a bad thing offends you, that's your own deal. I'm not saying that you can't learn things in college, but all I'm saying is that once you experience higher consciousness and you see what higher consciousness is like, and you see what they're doing in these colleges and the type of people that they're producing, they are not producing enlightened people. They are not producing people. They are not producing Christ conscious people. They're not producing people who have Merkaba activation. They're not producing people that are Kundalini realized, etc. And it's amazing. And what's even more amazing is that when a guy like me comes along and says something like this, a lot of people who have gone to college, etc., they start bashing me, or they get offended, and they ridicule me, even though they don't even understand what I'm talking about. Because Christ consciousness, higher consciousness, enlightenment, etc., that is the purpose of life. We did not come here to be slaves for the Matrix. And I know that's going to offend a lot of people, because a lot of people have been programmed to fight, kick, and scream to defend the status quo. But I can guarantee you, if you get these same people out in nature, and you get them living according to nature, and you get them an experience with higher consciousness, they're going to be able to understand what I'm saying with exactitude. If colleges and all this stuff is so great, then why is the world in the state that it's currently in? And I'm not saying you're a bad person if you've gone to college. Lots of very brilliant people have gone to college. I'm just saying that when you look at the statistics and you look at, it's just these. If college was such a great thing, why is the world in the way it currently in the state that it's in? You've also got to understand the symbology of college. You need to look up what it means to get your cap, and how it has to do with concrete, and how they are molding you, and how when you finish your college, they've finished molding you, and that's a symbol of you completing your programming. It's very deep, man. The world is very, very deep, and it's much deeper than the average person has the ability to see. It's also much deeper than the average person is willing to see, because the average person doesn't want to see the truth, because the truth often hurts. And we've developed an ego complex here in the Western world and worldwide to not accept the truth. And that's why we live in the land of ignorance. When you're ignorant, you ignore facts. And when you ignore facts, you live a lie. And when you live a lie, you're afraid of understanding the truth, because you're living a lie. When you live a lie, you're afraid of the truth, because the truth is the truth, and when you live a lie, you're a lie. Not trying to sound like a dick here. I'm just being honest. 100% honest. Everyone's caught up in this matrix, searching for the American dream, searching for money, searching for this, searching for that. Everyone's searching for everything else other than themselves and their own enlightenment. And it's very, very sad. The system is producing people every day. People are just, I'm going to say that. The system is producing people in a way which produces these people to look for external things instead of looking inside themselves. It's all about money. It's all about mortgages. It's all about this. It's all about that. And it's insane. It's absolutely insane when you can see what's going on in this physical dimension. He says college is bad. He's such an idiot. He's such a jerk. Blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. Well, I'm guarantee you, if you have done the research I've done and you've seen the things I've seen and you've experienced what I've experienced, you would agree with me. And like I said earlier, I'm not saying that all college is bad. I'm saying that the majority of what is going on in these college campuses, these high schools, etc., has nothing to do with enlightenment and turning on the highest potential of the human organism and the mind. It has nothing to do with walking in communion with God in the absolute. It has nothing to do with that. So I don't care if people get offended by this message. I'm not here to pasteurize what I say and talk soft and be all nice. For people who want to learn the truth at the speed of a snail. Some people get offended because I get angry, and it's just like, real people get angry. Genetically modified people talk like this, and it's all about love and this and that and blah blah blah. And it's just like we're being domesticated, man, and to be into false, or we're being domesticated into animals that live in a false environment here in this physical matrix. And if you can't see that, then you need to start waking up. Start drinking clean water. I can't take anyone seriously if they're gonna bash me for what I say, if they still drink tap water, if they still eat meat, if they still eat processed foods, etc. I can't, because all these things in these foods cause your mind to be aberrated. And when you're an aberrated person with an aberrated mind and a body, and you want to bash me for saying what I say, I can't take you seriously, because I know that if you were to get off all this junk and start living properly, you would most likely begin to agree with me, because you'd begin to, the veil would begin to lift away from you, and you'd be able to see what the fuck's going on here. So this little rant wasn't intended to be about college, but it pretty much came out that way. I mean, this rant was originally was about how far could we go as human beings if we lived in nature from day one, and we ate nothing but food from the table of nature. If we ignited Kundalini, I mean, how far could we go, man? I mean, I'm talking about things that humans can experience that are far supersede what humans are experiencing now here in this physical world, this sex world, this world of the lower chakras, the underworld. I'm talking about abilities of flying, telekinesis, breathing underwater, all this neat shit, lifting things that are incredibly heavy, bilocation, all this stuff. And it's just, how far could we go if we lived properly? We are not living properly here in this matrix, and that's why we're only using a small fraction of our brain. We're not using a small fraction of our brain predicated upon the fact that we are living in a technologically advanced society. No, we're experiencing only a small fraction of our brain power because we're living in a false environment. We're living outside and separated from the laws of nature. Whether you can see that or not. I can see it. Can you? This country has become a coffee-consuming, meat-consuming false education consuming system that destroys the planet. And I'm not saying that only the United States destroys the planet. The China, all of these, worldwide, we're destroying the planet. We're so ignorant as humans that we can't even learn how to collectively eat properly to not rape the planet of its resources, destroy all the various beautiful species, etc. So don't tell me we're some advanced fucking society. We're some advanced, you know, again, society, because we're not. And if you think that we are, it's because you're programmed. No offense. We're advanced, bro. What are you talking about, Brando? We've got cars and airplanes. That is not the those are not byproducts of a spiritually enlightened and spiritually advanced society. Whether you can see that or not. Have you not looked at what internal combustion motors do to the atmosphere? Are you not privy to the fact that we rely on the atmosphere to live at our highest potential, and when the atmosphere is filled with pollutants, we in turn become polluted, and when this body becomes polluted, the mind becomes polluted, and when the mind becomes polluted, the soul becomes polluted, and when the soul becomes polluted, our experience here in life becomes polluted, and we don't have the experience to express the higher nerve function in the body, etc., and we can't experience enlightenment because we have no chi running through us, etc. I don't need to hear it, man. It is so strange living as a, I'm not even gonna, there's things that I want to say that I can't say quite yet. I am a completely different breed of human living out here in this physical concrete jungle, and I know this to be a fact because I've experienced higher consciousness, and this isn't me bragging, this is me attempting to get a hold of some people and to ignite them, and also to get a hold of people who have had similar experiences to me, so we can together build a community of conscious people, man, because this reality is going down the drain big time. You need to look at all of the species that are dying daily, and it's just like, while everyone goes to work and everyone doesn't even bat an eye on this shit. In fact, it's crazy to me is when I go on Facebook or social media account, and I get really angry with my posts, etc., about all the species dying off and everything, people come at me and say that you need to calm down. You just need to calm down. You need to, just take a break. It's all about love, unity, and it's just like, what the fuck are you talking about, unity? Well, if you're so about unity, then why aren't you talking about all of our brothers and sisters in other countries and etc. being destroyed and killed, being all the children being bulldozed into ditches, etc. And you're going to tell me it's all about unity, and I just need to be quiet and not get angry about genocide, and the atmosphere being destroyed, the tap water being spiked with drugs, um, again, it's chemtrails. You don't want me to get angry and be passionate? Real people come with fire. They don't come with a bunch of fucking little fairy handouts and a bunch of bullshit. You need to calm down. It's all about unity. Yeah, well, then you should be realizing that I am about unity, and that's why I'm trying to help this planet, because I care about unity. I care about the collective whole of mankind in the planet. I don't care about just myself and my little neighborhood. I don't say stupid shit to people like, it's all about unity, bro. You gotta calm down. When these people that I'm talking to, how would I say this? When someone brings some fire and they start ranting and they get angry and they're passionate and they're spreading information and they're pissed off at the system that destroys this planet, I support them. I don't tell them to go, calm down. It's all about love. We gotta spread unity, bro. The fuck is spreading unity doing for any of you? Any of you? I'm not saying unity is a bad thing. I'm saying it's a great thing. I'm saying the way that you people, not you people, I'm saying that the way people go about saying this shit is just so fucking new age and so corny and so fucking unicorns and fairies shit. It's amazing. Saying it's all about unity and it's all about love isn't going to fix the garbage in the world. But I'll tell you what can fix the garbage in the world, and what can inspire other people's reality, fire, passion. People who get angry at the system are the people who cause change, not the people who support it. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Everything's been switched backwards in this physical matrix. It's insane. So again, I mean, how far could we go as a species if we weren't so programmed by the matrix, if we didn't live plugged into the matrix? Like I've said in previous posts, most humans walk around this physical dimension with their chakras, their spinal cord, every piece of their anatomy, their meridians, their subtle bodies, etc., all plugged into the matrix. And you plug yourself into the matrix by consuming matrix foods, by consuming matrix propaganda, by believing all the bullshit that you're being told. By doing this, and by especially the eating thing, you're shutting off the sacred parts of the anatomy. And when you shut off the sacred parts of the anatomy, you don't get flow of energy through the body anymore. And when you don't get flow of energy through the body anymore, you can't experience Kundalini. Most people have pound after pound of impacted fecal matter in their colon and in their digestive system. And when that happens, you shut off your body's ability to produce the mystical elements and etc. and the reactions in the body for you to experience enlightenment. It's just the way it is. And I'm not saying that I've got all the stuff out of me. I'm continuing to cleanse. And I am amazed at just how much garbage comes out of me. And I'm amazed at the fact that I'm probably nowhere near done getting all this stuff cleansed out of me, even though I've already cleansed a large majority of the shit out of me. It's incredible, man. It's absolutely incredible how much waste this body can store. So you know what? We've been shut off from our childhood imagination. We've been shut off from our childhood sense of wonder. We've been shut off from our, when we were kids, we thought anything was possible, etc. We were closer to God, etc. But we've been shut off from that, and we've been molded into domesticated creatures that live in a false environment, and that environment is the matrix. Now, to get back to our childhood state of connection, to get back to our childhood connection to nature and our childhood connection to God and our childhood connection to our limitless mindset, we've got to get rid of all the toxicity out of the body, because in my opinion we were shut off from our childhood state of sense of wonder and love for life, etc., and childhood limitless mindset, because we ingested so many poisons. You slowly from a young age begin to lose your childhood enlightenment as you continue to eat all these matrix foods, and as you begin to be programmed by all the education. And I know that, people are probably going to get mad at me for saying this. I don't care, man. I know that the average education system has nothing to do with nature and enlightenment. It has to do with re-educating your mind so that you can be a worker bee for the system. And that's why I inspire people to create their own businesses and to do their own thing and to become an artist and to detach and deprogram from this system that is robbing your soul and your body's ability to experience enlightenment and to live in a constant state of nirvana here in this matrix. It's insane, man. It blows my mind. It blows my mind because I've experienced higher consciousness, and then so I know what both sides of the scales are. I know what both sides of the scale are like. I know what it's like to be heavily programmed by the education system, and all the bullshit and all the bad food, and I know what it's like to be on the other side of the scale. So I've experienced both, and I know that the natural side of the scale far supersedes the other side of the scale, because the other side of the scale is filled with a bunch of dense bullshit, meats, produce, all this education, false education shit. It's filled with a bunch of dense limiting thoughts and guilts and repressions and depression and all this stuff. And on this side of the scale, it's just living in accordance with nature and being kind of a new way, being shamanically connected to the planet, and eating right and feeling lean and experiencing the Merkaba and Kundalini, etc. The natural side is the real side. That's why it's called the natural side. The other side is the fake, artificial, bullshit world of the Matrix. And I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of so many people I'm tired of being constantly surrounded with people that fight, kick, and scream to defend the status quo when they don't even know what they're defending. They don't know the ins and outs of the system. They've never studied it. They've never experienced higher consciousness. And it's incredible, man. I'm amazed at what's going on here. And I'm amazed at how many people can't see it. And it hurts me deep down inside my heart, because I have love for everyone, and to see people being controlled by this beast system, it's insane. And that's why I can't stand this unity shit. It's all about unity and love and blah blah blah, but no, it's not. It's about getting to the core of the matter. It's about the truth. It's not about falsehoods. It's not about accepting things and just, how would I say this? I'm not going to love things that I don't love, that I don't agree with. And I don't agree with things that destroy, murder, and damage the planet, and the people on the planet, and the animals on the planet, and the atmosphere, etc. I don't love those things. So I'm not going to say it's all about love when it's not. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. That's New Age programming. New Age Vatican programming. New Age programming. It's insane. Man. I mean, what could we be like if we were meant to be what we were meant to be from day one? What would we be like if, as children, we weren't told to stop playing? If we weren't forced to stop playing, and we weren't forced to go into these schools and do all this crazy shit they teach you in school to get used to the 8-hour day, the 8-hour work day, the 8-hour grind. And they do it through various levels so that by the time you're ready to go to college, I mean, you're used to spending 8 hours of your day being separated from yourself and your soul. No offense. If this offends people, then if this message offends you, it's because I'm hitting a nerve deep down inside of you. Deep down inside your cells, you know that what I'm talking about is the truth. And a lot of you people don't like the truth because it hurts. And therefore, many of you that are watching this may or may not want to get angry at me. And he's crazy. He's saying that we're programmed. He's saying this. He's saying that. Step back and think for a minute before you react. Because chances are, if you're reacting, it's because I'm hitting a nerve predicated upon the fact that it hurts what I'm saying because it's the truth. If you want to never experience Kundalini, if you want to never experience natural energy, if you never want to live in harmony with the laws of nature, and the laws of Ma'at, then I mean, just go give your soul to the system and see where it gets you. You may get all this money and get all this fame and all this, but what good is that when you're fucking 50 or 60 and you get cancer or you get this disease or that disease and you're just fucked? This system, this matrix may give you money, it may give you some fame, it may give you some riches, but those are nowhere near the types of riches that one can acquire for living in accordance with nature and her laws. And this body can produce. This body has the ability to experience enlightenment. This body and this mind, this soul. So to give up enlightenment for some fucking some paper money, Wow. That amazes me. And many people are doing this. But I can't get mad at many people because many people don't know any better. Many people aren't privy to the fact that enlightenment is a very, 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 very real thing. And I'm not talking about, how would I say this? I'm not talking about New Age enlightenment indoctrination ideologies. Such as, a lot of people who aren't, what I'm getting at is a lot of people think they're enlightened that aren't enlightened at all. A lot of people think they're enlightened because they meditate, or because they do yoga, or because they have some tarot cards, or this, or that, or this. And that's not the way it is, man. Real enlightenment is, there's things I want to say, but I don't know if I should say them. Real enlightenment is experiencing the Merkaba, the light body. It's experiencing Kundalini. It's having all of the earth energy move through your fucking system and completely fix everything about your programmed, matrix-ridden body. Enlightenment comes, and if you do attain it, it fixes everything, man. And I'm not saying that I'm some spiritually exalted, hierophant, enlightened person. I'm saying that I've experienced higher consciousness. I've had Kundalini awakenings, and I know what it's like to be, again, things I want to say that I don't think I should say. I know what it's like to experience higher consciousness, Merkaba consciousness, Kundalini consciousness. And once you experience these levels of consciousness, and then you can come back after that and witness and look at your old self, you go, wow, was I programmed? Wow, was I full of shit? Wow, was I a liar? Wow, was I not living according to nature's laws? Wow, was I contradicting enlightenment, etc. So, it's just, I'm amazed. But bro, if you weren't living in accordance to nature, and according to blah blah blah, why'd you have an experience with higher consciousness? Maybe mainly because I wanted it very, very badly, and I seeked it out. I wanted it since I was a young boy. I wanted to know if higher consciousness and enlightenment was real. That's all I cared about. I didn't care about school. I didn't care about my math grades and my reading comprehension status or points and all this shit. I didn't care about that. The only thing I learned that helped me out in this matrix in school was how to read and how to write and how to converse with people. And that's one thing I cherish about school. But but Brando, why if you're so against the if how would I say this? But Brando, I mean, if you weren't living according to the laws of nature, then why did you get to experience higher consciousness? Like I said, I seeked it out. I was seeking the truth, and I did it. I think fervently would be the proper word. I did it without ceasing. That's all I cared about. That's all I thought about. That's all I daydreamed about. In class, I didn't give a shit about all this bullshit. I didn't care about my grades and all this stuff. I was set on a goal, and that goal eventually materialized, because what you focus on, you manifest. So many people, they care. Many people, what I'm getting at, they care more about their reputation with their grades and everything, etc. They care more about than letting all that go so that they can focus on something much bigger. It's insane. The school and all in this system, man, and all the television and all the garbage, it's programming you to be something that you're not. And it's succeeding very, very well. And it's doing a damn good job doing that. It's turning people into, again, domesticated creatures that live in a false environment. I mean, how would I say this, man? I can be in a social setting around people watching TV, and I can see the people around me watching the TV, and they just sit there and watch it and absorb it like a sponge, and they can't even see all the deliberate brainwashing things that they're throwing at them, etc. And I can stand back and watch it and see all these people being programmed and hypnotized. It's amazing, man, to see what this television is doing to people. It's turning people into it's turned this nation into a nation of thumbsuckers. It has. A nation of thumbsuckers. And to see the looks on these people's faces while they're being programmed by their televisions, it's just like, it's sad, man. And I'm not saying this stuff pointing fingers at people and judging them. It hurts my heart deep down inside to see so many of my brothers and my sisters, my fellow men and womankind being programmed by this stuff. And it's like, I can look at these people's faces that are watching this television, and they look like little toddlers drooling in front of the TV. It's so sad, and it's just like, unless you're on top of your shit, you're not going to be able to see the programming. That's why I focus on getting you off tap water, man. Getting off tap water is the first step. How are you going to live a spiritual life? How are you going to be able to see through the matrix if you're consuming foods and garbage that causes you to be calcified and be shut down spiritually? And again, I'm not saying, I want to make this clear that I'm not saying that I'm some special person. I've had a few experiences. Everyone has something to offer here. I'm not saying that I'm some special Hierophant, spiritual realized Hierophant. There are people on this planet that are enlightened people. I'm nothing compared to them, but I have had some multitude of experiences, and I've learned from them, and I've seen things that a lot of people haven't seen, and I've learned from those experiences, and I've had to go through hell and back, and I've learned from my trials and errors, and I have something to offer the world, and that's why I'm here giving out this information, because I have information to give, and I have a role in the planetary evolution of man and the planet, etc. I care for my mother more than anything. I care for my planet more than anything, man. My mother. I care for the animals. These are my companions. And that's why I get angry in some of my videos. And it's just like, I don't want to get angry, but when I see people eating my brothers and my sisters, my animal companions, it's just like, it deeply disturbs me. And it's just, what's sad to me is a lot of these people who are eating my companion animals, when I say something angry on Facebook or something, they go, you just need to calm down, bro. It's all about love. It's all about unity. You shouldn't judge people. It's easy for you to just say that. That excuse can't just be your go-to excuse to just eradicate all your karma for everything you do. Think about it. You're killing something. You're taking something's life, often in a way that is very horrific. Look up factory farming and look up how the food that you eat is treated before you eat it. You want to defend that with some fucking it's all about love and unity excuse? Get real, man. Get real and pull back your blinders, man. Realize with real eyes that you've been brought into and that you believe real lies. You've been warped. Whether you can see that or not. And if me saying that offends you, it's because I'm hitting a nerve. Those people who haven't been warped are going to go, yeah, they're going to agree with me that people have been warped. This message isn't just to everyone who watches this, me saying that you've been warped. It's to the people who have been warped. And the people who have been warped are the people usually that get offended by me saying that. So if you are offended by it, stop and think and just realize, or not even realize, but just think before you react. Think, why are you reacting? You shouldn't hate the messenger if he brings a truthful message. If people can't, the type of people who can't accept the truth are the type of people who are they'll never get anywhere in life. Because they mix falsehoods up with truths, and when you do that, you get a murky pond of garbage. You cannot mix truth with falsehoods. The truth always shines higher than the falsehoods. And in this world, it's just an ocean of chaos, man. No one knows what's right anymore. No one knows what's wrong anymore. People look up to like American Idol contestants and all these fallen idols, and all this people like all these musicians that lip sync and have no talent, and people like all this garbage, man. People buy into all this what the politicians say. People buy into all the fake nutritional information. People buy into all this cheap shit out here in the land of the dead, and it hurts me deeply. And that's why I'm here, to attempt to help people and to attempt to create a community or with other people where we can get like-minded people together that are interested in enlightenment and all these interesting subjects, and create a community of people who have their heads on straight. It's crazy. It really is nuts. The world that we're living in. Man, oh man. But, you know, it is what it is. If you focus on the external world too much, you'll fry your fucking self. A lot of people, they start waking up and they start seeing all the corruption in the world, and it's just like it drags them down like an anchor. And it's just like you can't focus on all that stuff. Realize that the world's corrupt and put that on the back burner. Understand it, that it's corrupt, but start taking all your power back. You focusing on the corruption is going to take up all your time. It's going to take up all your energy. It's going to drain you like a battery. It's going to suck the energy out of you like a battery. Instead of focusing on that garbage, recharge your battery with health food. Recharge your battery with positive thoughts. Recharge your battery with spirituality. Recharge your battery with meditation. Recharge your battery with dream recall and learning how to lucid dream and to start having REM sleep. Recharge your battery by getting back into nature and planting your feet into the dirt. Recharge your battery by going out and climbing trees. Recharge your battery like by becoming the child that you used to be. Man, that's childish shit, man. We were supposed to grow up. No, you don't. You are not supposed to grow up into a cranky, fucking arthritis-ridden, cancer-ridden, meat-eating, cranky-ass, fucking 9 to 5, stuck-up person. Many of the people out here, they think they're better than other people because they drive a BMW or they have like a $3,000 suit or all this garbage, and it's just like, it's fucking hilarious, man. It's fucking hilarious how stuck up people can become because they have some stuff. When your Bible tells you that stuff and materialism doesn't mean shit. It's a byproduct of the devil. I'm not saying you can't have some stuff out here, but when you always seek to get more than you need, you become evil, in my opinion. Because life is about getting what you need, and it's just, it's not about attaining a bunch of bullshit, Like I saw this, this motherfucker Floyd Mayweather, this boxing guy. He makes like millions and millions of dollars a year, but it's just like, look at how he spends his money. He spends his money on the television showing kids that it's like, it's cool to spend like 100 or 1.5 million dollars on a car, or it's just like it's disgusting. You got all this money, why don't you go help out your brothers and sisters who have nothing, instead of buying a bunch of materialism and $150,000 watches and all this stupid bullshit. People with money often use their money in very unholy ways. It's disgusting. People who have lots of money, such as celebrities, etc., they often use their money in very selfish, unholy ways, and they advertise it to the public in this, most young kids, they like people like Miley Cyrus, Taylor Swift, all these nasty fucking people, and it's just like, oh, man, the message that these Illuminati fucking musicians are teaching these kids is not good. It's all, look at what Miley Cyrus did. She went from Nickelodeon to being like, I think she even does like, I'm not even gonna say it, but look at what she does on stage, man. And our kids look up to that. I mean, come on. All these celebrities taking their clothes off and twerking, and it's just like all these people soaking it up like a sponge and liking it. Parents taking their young daughters, to see this garbage, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, man. I saw a movie not too long ago, and there was a couple in the movie having sex next to their baby on the floor. And it's just like, what the fuck is going on, man, with this country? This country is it's oh my God. They were like doing all these sexual things in this movie around kids, and it was just like, what the fuck? What is happening to this country? We've got to calm down, Brandon. It's all about love and like being in unity, bro. Kiss my fucking ass, is what I say to that. Kiss it. Want to tell me to calm down? Well, because I'm privy to what's going on in the world, because I can see all the species being just raped and murdered. Dude, get real, man. Get the fuck out of my way. Getting angry, bro. You bet your ass I'm getting angry, you weak little fucking jellyfish. You thumb sucker. And you know, I don't want to have to get angry. I don't want to have to be like this. But I am forced to be an extremist in this extreme world. So, it is what it is. It is what it is, man. Forced to be an extremist in an extreme world. I'm not going to turn my cheek and just accept the way things are, because that's what the status quo, you know, how would I say this? I'm not just going to accept the corruption in the world because other people do, and other people have created their egos around living in this fake environment. You know, get real, man. I care more about my soul and understanding the truth, and not being just a sheltered little person here in this matrix. I'm not going to forfeit my soul and not care about the planet, and not see what's actually going on this planet. I'm going to do everything that I can to attempt to do my best to help this planet, and to help the course of mankind, and to get people back on track, and to do my part, you know. And that my part has nothing to do with being an average person, because I'm not an average person. So I don't like average people. I mean, I love them because they're part of the human family, but a lot of average people, these are the same people who love politicians that go and blow the shit out of innocent people in other countries. These are the same people who would support putting an innocent person behind bars without them knowing it. People don't know what's going on, man. And I don't have time for people who don't know what's going on. I don't have patience to kick it with people, and to be around people who move through life at the speed of a fucking slower than a snail, man. Slower than a snail. I don't have time for that shit. So again, to wrap this up, I mean, how far could we go as a species? How far could we go if we got our shit together, etc., and we lived in accordance to the laws of Ma'at? If we lived in accordance and in unison with the laws of nature, and we stimulated Kundalini, and we worked on the Merkaba, and we We didn't spend hours a day pushing carts and being slaves for the Matrix. I mean, our ancestors, our ancient ancestors and ancient civilizations, these motherfuckers knew what was up. They were teleporting, flying through the skies. We're doing energy work that would blow your mind if you knew about it. But here in today's world, that's not cool. It's not cool to be conscious in today's world. It's cool to just get stamped by it with your little. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm blown away, man. So ask yourself, I'm not even going to say that. There's so many things I want to say that I don't feel comfortable saying yet. You've also got to, in terms of our potential to become enlightened, you've also got to think of how many generations of like, say your mother probably ate nothing but garbage food, and her mother probably ate nothing but garbage food, and her mother may or may not have eaten nothing but garbage food, etc. So you're the byproduct of multiple generations of people living outside the laws of nature. And I'm not saying your mother's a bad person at all. I'm just saying what we eat has an effect and an affinity on the DNA. And when the DNA is polluted with garbage foods and you reproduce, that DNA goes on and it creates DNA in accordance to that, etc. So you're the byproduct of whoever was you're a byproduct of your ancestry is what I'm getting at. So we've got to take our DNA codes back and start healing our DNA. And we need to start eating more chlorophyll. And we need to start getting more sunlight and drinking clean water. And we need to stop eating as much. We eat 3 meals a day here in the Matrix of garbage food, many of us. I'm not saying we all do. And I know what it's like to see the garbage come out of the system. I know what it's like to see pounds of fecal matter, retained fecal matter, exiting the body. It's just, most of us have, like I said earlier, anywhere from 5, I would say 15 actually. 5 is a small number. 15 to 30 pounds of garbage in our system that's been in there for a very long time. If you don't believe me, read Arnold Ehret's book, The Mucusless Diet System. Read his book, Rational Fasting. Read the book, Colon Health by Dr. Norman Walker. Read the book, Tissue Cleansing Through Bowel Management by Bernard Jensen, DC, and nutritionalist. Very good book. What, a penny? What are you going to lose? Most of the books that I've learned the most from were like a penny on Amazon, $3.99 to ship. Most of the books that I learned nothing from and that I spent hundreds of dollars on and was programmed from were college books and junior college, etc. It's a business, man, and many people's egos can't let go of that. The education system, a large portion of it, is a business. It's here to take your money. It's here to take your money. And I can already hear people just getting so offended at me by saying that. He's saying that we're programmed. He's saying that college is bad, blah, blah, blah. You probably haven't done the research I've done. Probably haven't seen what I've seen. So, don't judge what I say until you've seen what I've seen and done the research I've done, because that's foolish. Totally fucking foolish. Totally foolish. This is cayenne pepper, lemon, and distilled water. And there's something else in here I can't remember that I like to drink. My mom gets me this Smart Juice organic black mulberry and cranberry juice, 100% juice. And stuff's awesome. I love fruit juice. And then I save the bottles And they make great bottles. That's another little tip. Save your bottles, man. Your glass bottles, because you don't want to be using a bunch of plastic. Most of the plastic here in the Matrix is filled with garbage. So glass is the way to go. So if you get good bottles, save them. Put them in your, put them in your room and just collect them. And over time, you'll get a bunch of awesome bottles. And they come in very handy when you want to start fasting or cleansing or doing this or doing that. It's, storing your teas and your lemon water and your baking soda water, etc. in glass is the way to go. So yeah, that's about it. On that note, to wrap things up, check out the laws of Ma'at. I'll put a link up here on the screen. The 42 laws of Ma'at, and check out Drunvalo Melchizedek's book, The Ancient Secret of the Flower of Life. Check out my video on the Merkaba DNA activation, Kundalini rising videos. Check out my distilled water part 1 and part 2 if you want to learn about drinking clean water and removing waste from your tap water. Distilled water is the best way, in my opinion, to remove all the waste from your tap water. But distilled water by itself is not healthy. You need to restructure it. You need to bring life force back into it. You can remineralize it. You don't have to remineralize it, but you need to put it in the sunlight. You need to either put it in the sunlight or moonlight or both. You can put it in a glass bottle and put it down into the dirt and the earth and let it get grounded with the earth so that the earth can restructure the water. You can vortex it. You can add stuff like crystal energy, Patrick Flanagan's crystal energy. You can add mega hydrate to it. There's so many things to do to your distilled water to restructure it. And wow, that cayenne makes me feel amazing. Cayenne pepper cleans the arteries out, cleans the heart out. Read Dick Quinn's book Left for Dead and you'll know what I'm talking about. And you can feel it. It makes this incredibly blissful buzz, or not buzz, this tingling warm sensation in your chest. But I'm going to make a video on restructuring distilled water because I've been meaning to do that for a long time. But right now check out in my playlists if you've gotten to this point and you're interested. If you've gotten to this point in this video and you're interested in what I have to say about water, check out my, go into my channel homepage and scroll down into my playlists and look at the playlist that says water. Those are all my videos. I made all those, and it's just some solid information on there to get you on the right track if you're interested in drinking clean water. And I can tell you truthfully that drinking clean water is the easiest step to start getting healthier. It's the easiest step to stop being so brain warped and brainwashed by the system, because the system deliberately puts waste in your water to destroy the integrity of your mind. The stuff in the water makes your IQ go down. The stuff in the water calcifies the mystical lobes of the brain. The stuff in the water turns you off. It calcifies you. It clogs your arteries, etc. And I'm not going to get into it, man. I've already talked about this, but on behalf of Earth and Enlightenment and the global activation of the light body, etc., and peace on Earth and liberation from for these animals, etc. Peace be with you. Please subscribe if you like what I talk about. Have a good one.